in such a fast-paced world that we often forget what we ate for breakfast. Literally, did I actually eat something of substance, or is Red Bull the breakfast? I no longer know. I just wake up, put on my pants, and go to work. And yeah, it's like, where is time to just stop and reflect? Well, this video, it's your time, because we're going to stop for a moment and think about who was the MVP of last month. We're going to remember, go, wow, way back when in June, a whole 4 days ago. But yeah, no, for real, you'll be surprised what you forgot happened. Did you know that Money in the Bank actually happened in June? But you're like, wait a second, I thought King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring was in June. It was. One was in the way beginning and one was in the way end. A lot of things happened. So today we're going to go over the MVPs of the mid-card, the main event scene, and the tag team championships for both male and female divisions. We're going to start off with the MVP of the males mid-card. I'm going to give this to Solo Sikoa, and the reason why is because throughout the entire month of June, he was in a storyline that built up to a match with Jacob Fatu, and they wrestled. And guess what happened? Solo Sikoa, against all odds, from having zero aura as of, January 7th, because he lost his Ula Fala on the 6th, and January 7th, zero aura, to all the way in July, becoming the MVP as he beats Jacob Fatu, the future of the company, for this U.S. title. Insane turnaround for Solo. And not just that, but he starts Bloodline 48.0. Tunga Loa, the tribal chief, returns. JC Mateo, hate that name, and Tall Tunga, has been introduced. And Solo Sikoa, he has his boys back. The Island Boys are back, baby. And he has the U.S. title, and he is your MVP of the month of June for the mid-card male division. And if you want this U.S. title just like Solo Sikoa, all you gotta do is comment below, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell, ding, 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 notification. I'm gonna give away this belt right here at 20,000 subscribers on my quest to quit the day job. I'm not kidding. I've already given away 2. I'll give away 3, and I'll give away more, because every 10,000 subscribers, I give away about 20,000, 30,000, 40,000. So please engage. Did I tell you to like the video? Like the video. The thumb will tell you to like the video too. Like the video, or else what? Don't be threatening them. Not or else. Just please, I would appreciate it if you like the video. Don't threaten. Now we go to the women's mid-card. Who could it be? I would have, Naomi has a very strong case for women's mid-card MVP. She won the Money in the Bank in the month of June. But the thing that really hurt her is that I believe that she tried to do too many cash-ins. That did it for me. The too many failed cash-ins kind of just, it gave her airtime. So don't get me wrong, it's not the worst thing in the world to happen to someone. She's second place. She's second place for the MVP. The person I'm going to give it to is someone that I was hoping to never have to make this decision. I've always wondered in my head, is Jade Cargill mid-card or main event? She's always been treated kind of like a main event talent, but I figured I would never have to make this decision until she just won the title. I figured she would 1 month just suddenly win the title, and I'd be like, okay, cool, she's main event. But be that as it may, and I didn't have a solid mid-card person. I had to focus on Jade Cargill, because now Jade just won Queen of the Ring. And it's like, Queen of the Ring, ooh, is she main event? Is she mid-card? So what I'm doing here, I'm officially putting Jade Cargill in the mid-card division, and she will be your MVP of the month of June. But with the crowning of the Queen of the Ring, she is no longer mid-card, and she bumps into the main event scene. Does that make sense? So for the month of June will be her last month as a mid-carder, and from this point forward, I'm considering Jade Cargill with a giant accomplishment under her belt, or actually on her head. I consider her now full main event status. So she is no longer eligible eligible for mid-card unless she falls down the card. So congratulations, Jade, on your last month as a mid-carder. You became the MVP. Let's go to the tag team division now. Tag team division, it's either male or female. I don't do separate because a lot of times I feel like only whether it's Smackdown, Raw, or the entire female tag team division, there's usually only one real story going on, and that's if we're lucky, to tell you the truth. We could say the Wyatts on Smackdown, because the whole tag team division is like circling the Wyatts, even though the Street Profits are your champion. But I just feel that the storyline with the Wyatts is a storyline about the Wyatts, not about the tag team within the Wyatts. So this is not a MVP for faction, it's an MVP for tag teams. So SmackDown is not in this. So now it's down to Raw. Who should win? The logical choice would be JD McDonough and Finn Balor, because they won the tag team champions at the end of the month. However, I will argue here that wins don't necessarily matter as much as being who is the most important person. Wins are awesome, and they can factor greatly into the decision, but I'm going to actually put the New Day as your MVPs. I'm going to explain myself. If you want to say, nope, I call foul, I call shenanigans, Chop, we know that you are a big New Day supporter, and I think that you are letting your feelings get in the way of your decision making. That's a fair argument. I don't think that, though. I really don't think that, because I actually do like JD McDonough and Finn Balor. I actually do like them. I think it was a bad decision to give them the belts, but I like them a lot. This is why I think the New Day actually are your MVP still, even though they lost. For one, JD McDonough and Finn Balor, kind of like what I said about the Wyatts, they're within a faction. This is more about the faction winning the title and kind of kicking Liv out than anything. It's not about JD and Finn winning the tag team titles. It's more about Judgment Day collecting the gold. It wasn't like JD and Finn were together trying to get this tag match. It just kind of happened. While the New Day, throughout the entire month, they were a tag team. They are constantly on, they're in backstage segments. We have Xavier Woods looking like the Godfather, just like stealing the show even when they don't get to speak. Like, you can't help but notice the New Day. Then the New Day, whenever they're on the microphone, whenever they're on commentary, they're always, again, stealing the show. The crowd hates them, but that's a good thing. They've got actual legit heat with the crowd. I love thank God for the New Day. Everything they do just like, it captivates you. Whether you love or hate them, at least you're watching them. You're enjoying them. They brought the tag team belts. While yes, the Raw tag team division sucked, but I don't think it's the fault of the New Day. The New Day were doing their best to keep the tag team division up top. Could you imagine if the New Day were actually the champions on SmackDown, or if the New Day had half of the tag teams on SmackDown on Raw? Like, their title run would have been amazing and awesome. And here's the deal. When they lost to Finn Balor and JD McDonough, guess what? The crowd was on board with JD and Finn. They were cheering. They were cheering and rooting them on. It was heel versus heel, but it didn't feel that way. You know why? Because people hated the New Day so much that it got Finn and JD over as faces in that moment. To me, that's a valuable tag team. Not just a valuable tag team, but the most valuable tag team of the month of June. The MVP of the internet. Added a category this month, the MVP of the internet. The internet is like, it's a large part of our lives now, if you hadn't noticed. And I do feel that, like, sometimes WWE uses stuff from the internet, and sometimes they don't. Sometimes feel like a nut, sometimes don't. All men joys have nuts, moms don't. Sometimes you feel like sometimes you you know, Almond Joys, if you want to sponsor me, I'd appreciate it. But hey, you know what? If anybody wants to sponsor me, I would appreciate it. I will wear a big old Flim Jim on my forehead if I have to. You know, I'm not above that. I will make fun of WWE for selling out until the opportunity arises for me to sell out. Then it's like, hey, you know, gotta make that money. Anyways, we're gonna go to the internet MVP. Gonna give it to Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross, he's had more viral stuff in previous months, but I gotta say this, all of those months have added up to this month, him getting on a PLE, a big-time match with Sami Zayn in Saudi Arabia, not Crown Jewel, what was it? Night of Champions, Weekend of Champions, and I, like, you know what? Way to go, Karrion Kross. Very, very happy for you. For what it's worth, I'm proud of you. It's like, even if Karrion Kross saw this video, he'd be like, who's this dude? Who's this loser? But yeah, I don't care. Call me a loser. I'm still proud of you. But yeah, good job, Karrion Kross. Using the internet to make yourself relevant. You're the MVP of the internet. And so now we go to the main event scene of the women's. This one's going to be controversial. And people are going to be like, wait a second. No, can't do that. Because the person who I'm going to pick as the MVP of June to be Tiffany Stratton, who has fought Nia 836 times. Or should it be Io Sky, who hasn't defended her title since WrestleMania 41. Yeah, not going to be her too. And don't come at me saying, oh, well, Io Sky was supposed to defend her title against Liv Morgan at Night of Champions. Okay, pivot. Just have her fight someone else. It don't matter. You know what? What if she had fought Raquel Rodriguez? You know, instead of her fighting Rhea Ripley. Like, maybe Raquel Rodriguez gets so mad and she steps up. I don't care who it is. Give Io, your champion, a match. And if she's not going to fight since WrestleMania, she's definitely not on this, she's not on MVP. So I'm going to give it to Intercontinental Champion, Becky Lynch. And you guys, like, gals, some of you might be mad. Like, wait a second. You can't give the main event spot to the mid-card title. No, I can. Yeah, I can. I mean, sometimes the wrestler in the main event doesn't even hold the title. So it's not the title necessarily that makes you mid-card or main event. It's the person that holds the title. Sometimes the title makes the person, and sometimes the person makes the title. And in this situation, Becky Lynch is definitely making that title. Like, yes, Becky is in the mid-card right now, and she's fighting mid-card people, but at any moment, she could just be like, I want to be Becky Two Belts. I want to fight for that championship. And boom, she's in the main event. We know that. It would be like when John Cena held the U.S. title. There was no doubt that John Cena was still a main event guy. We weren't like, oh, well, he's holding the U.S. title. I guess he's a mid-card. I guess John Cena has been regulated to the mid-card. No, it was just something he did to put over talent and put over the belt. And that's what Becky did. This belt was going nowhere fast. It was like on a road. It was on a road to nowhere, and it got there. It arrived at its destination. The belt was like, I'm nowhere, and I'm gonna stay right here. And Becky was like, Becky picked it up and ran with it. Lyra Valkyria. I know there's a lot of supporters and fans for her, but like, for real, I did not care about her whatsoever until Becky Lynch came into the picture. Love her or hate her, she made Lyra very relevant and made me care for Lyra Valkyria. And now the Women's Intercontinental Championship is like, it's more prestigious than maybe any belt right now. Tiffany's not doing a horrible job, but she's not doing a great job, if that makes sense. And Becky is. Becky is doing a phenomenal job. She won the title at Money in the Bank. And then she's held it ever since. And even though she hasn't appeared on every show, it's like her presence just overshadows Raw, where Bayley and Lyra are now fighting just for the opportunity to face Becky. Yeah, I gotta put her. It's the main event. She's putting people over. She's making belts relevant. She's the most interesting storyline, in my opinion, right now. Well, maybe secondary to Jade, Bianca, and Naomi, but whatever the case may be, it's still a really good storyline. And so, Becky Lynch, your MVP of the women's main event scene with the midcard title. And now we're at the main event for the males division, the male main event scene, and who could I give it to other than the guy that I'm going to give it to? Like LA Knight, he's risen himself into like a main event program, but I'm still going to keep him in the mid-card division until I see that he can stay in the main event scene. Seth Rollins, his faction, they had a big moment at Night of Champions, but not really doing much. Not really doing much. He won the Money in the Bank. I'll grant him that. So I guess Seth Rollins is probably very close. He's third place. CM Punk is second place because CM Punk. I remember there was this when CM Punk came back, he did a press conference where he said that he's like, listen, I'm always going to be in the best storylines, and people, they're going to raise up to me or they're going to fail, and you're going to get in the ring with me, and you're going to do better in the ring because that's what I bring out of people. Whether it's in wrestling matches or in on the microphone, you will rise up to the occasion when you are across the ring from me. He says something like that, like it's a paraphrase, and I might even got a little bit wrong, but regardless, that was the gist of it. And his opponent and the MVP of June is the Unseen 17, John Cena. And I gotta say, his feud with CM Punk definitely did that, to the point that everybody universally is saying, wow, this heel John Cena is the heel John Cena we should have got from the start, from the get. And I yes, exactly. And CM Punk brought that out of him. So I'm very, I would love to give it to CM Punk, but I can't because it was John Cena who did rise up. It's John Cena's final year. It's John Cena winning at Money in the Bank. No, he lost. Did he win or did he lose at Money in the Bank? No, he lost at Money in the Bank in a throwaway match nobody cares about. I forgot. I just literally forgot that he teamed up with Logan Paul against Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes. Who cares, right? And then he goes and wins against CM Punk in a stellar match. He has the talking point of he doesn't hit a Punk with the belt, but later he does cheat doing the pipe bomb. The pipe bomb promo alone, almost 14 years to the day, was just, oh my God. And then the rebuttal that CM Punk does is just a parody of John Cena. John Cena is all over the place. John Cena is all over the place in the month of June. I was very harsh on the John Cena heel turn or even the John Cena schedule in the beginning of the year, but it seems like they finally got it on track right now. I will be interested to see what happens as we go forward, because it's now what? Now what? Because we're about to get Cody versus Cena again. Can Cody and John make it interesting? Because WrestleMania 41, not so much. But the month of June, very much so. John Cena, the Unseen 17, gotta put him as the MVP of June. Great stuff. Great storytelling. Very happy with this. And for anybody who was gaslit into believing that WrestleMania 41 was horrible on purpose, I hope now you see that wasn't the case. It was just horrible because of The Rock's ego and probably Triple H's ego. Honestly, that's probably why it was horrible. Let's just forget about it and move on. And right now, John Cena, MVP, good stuff. And who's the MVP of this channel? You are. You are all the MVPs. This channel doesn't exist without you. I appreciate every single one of you. Have yourselves, boys and girls, a great day.